so I'm excited. I'm here to continue on in my series of my top 100 favorite movies of all time. It's wild. It's crazy. It's a crazy list. And this was incredibly difficult, and I've really struggled. But I already posted my 100 to 91. Now this is my 90 to 81. And these are just my favorites. And so if you think this is way too low or way too high, or you think I'm crazy, that's okay. You can post your own list down below, or you can post your own list if you have channel or social media, and just let me know. And I'd love to check it out. So these are just mine. So let's talk about it. I have the 2011 version of Jane Eyre. I think this is the best version of Jane Eyre we've ever gotten. Let's take a lot of liberties from the book. And so some people would have some problems with that. And it embraces some of the horror kind of feel and some of those gothic feels a lot. So some people might have problems with that, but I love the way it's filmed. I think it's so beautiful. Director Cary Fukunaga, he does such a good job, and I really like Mia Wasikowska as Jane. I think she really captures like the young kind of side of Jane and how innocent she is, and how you've got this kind of pure character up against this embittered man that is Rochester, and these two sort of strong wills coming up against each other, and just the passion and you feel so sorry for Rochester. Michael Fassbender is amazing as Rochester. I think that this movie has just amazing tension, romantic tension between them. Like I said, I think it's so beautifully shot. Judi Dench is in it. She's great. It's just a great movie, and it has such great atmosphere and tone. Then at number 89, I have the original Rocky. And this movie is actually really well written, has tons of heart, about Rocky and his relationship with Adrian and Mickey, and going up to fight the unwinnable fight. And it's one of the sports movies where it doesn't go the way that Rocky wants it to go, and it doesn't have the victory like you'd expect to see, but he does win in a way. He gets love, and he gives it his all, and it's just really moving and really well developed, well written characters, and I think it's a great film. Okay, number 88, I have Pollyanna. I love this movie. I love this idea of like what happens with a character that has a really sad life but chooses to be positive, and how the various people in her life kind of respond to that positivity, and it really gets to them. And I particularly love Karl Malden in this as this minister who's preaching fire and brimstone, and who becomes humbled and realizes that he's not doing his congregation any favors, and you really see like a real conversion from him. And he's such a great actor, and I love his performance in this. And it's just so when Pollyanna finally does lose her hope, it is so devastating, and it is so sad. And when everybody comes together to bring her some more hope, it's just the best. At number 87, talk about contrasting this list, I have Mad Max Fury Road. And this movie was huge visual spectacle, amazing. And I think it had like enough moments of character that were moving enough that I was invested in the film, particularly Charlize Theron's character. And when she realizes that their mission was kind of fruitless and for nothing, it's pretty devastating. And it's just so kinetic. It's so visceral. And it took me a while to kind of warm up to it, but I finally just embraced it. And I really it's just such a fun experience to watch. So that's where I have it at 87. Number 86, I have A Little Princess. This is directed by Alfonso Cuarón. And this movie just captures the magic of childhood, the fairy stories that we tell, the innocence of childhood. Beautiful. I love the lead performance in here. I love sort of how it has this little bit of sort of feels grounded, feels real, but then every once in a while there's touches of magical realism. That's what I'm looking for. Really lovely, and cinematography is great, and the score is so great. Okay. Then at number 85, I have an obscure one that I love called The Talk of the Town. It's a movie with such a great cast. It's got Cary Grant as this fugitive who's been falsely accused. He goes on the run, and he ends up hiding out in his sort of girlfriend's house, played by Jean Arthur, who's so funny in this. So she's renting out this house to Ronald Colman, who is a judge and is possibly going to be on the Supreme Court. And so when he finds out that he's harboring a fugitive, but it's a fugitive that's going to be tried unjustly, like then so you have this battle of like both. It's very funny, very slapsticky, very effective, but also there's an interesting sort of what is justice kind of discussion, and there's sort of philosophy to it that I love, and I just think it's a great movie. 84, I have Spotlight. This is a movie that moved me so much. Such a good job of confronting groupthink and how every single person that is involved in this investigation is also part of sort of this groupthink. It's not just kind of smear piece against the Catholic Church. It's so much deeper than that. Even the Michael Keane character realizes that he knew stuff that he didn't act on because of this person or because of this, or he didn't report on things. Like every single person was kind of part of this collective groupthink. And I think that is so moving. I think it is so emotional. And there's so many moments where it felt very human to me. Mark Ruffalo's character, I think, has some really human moments. Rachel McAdams is great in this. When she's talking to one of the victims, it's devastating. She was really great. And you really get to see, it's actually surprisingly, it's not as depressing as you would think, even with these tough topics, because these people feel like real humans and you get to see them through the whole year. And to me, it was much better than All the President's Men when I finally saw that, because that movie just felt clinical and without any heart. And to me, this has so much heart. I was really moved by it. Number 83, I have Napoleon Dynamite. This is a movie that you're either going to like or you're going to hate, and I'm in the like camp. I think it's super funny. I think Napoleon is actually a really wonderful character because everything is pushing him down, telling him he's worthless, but he refuses to give into it. He has just a resilient spirit. He's positive despite the fact that he's basically like an orphan living with his grandma and treated kind of terribly by everything. Like he doesn't have any reason to be as positive, but when he finally does the dance at the end, it's a really like hopeful, lovely moment, I think. And I love Napoleon Dynamite. Okay, number 82, I have Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. I had so much fun talking about all the Star Trek movies with my friend Tom. That was a really great experience on the podcast. And for me, Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan was the one that stood out the most. It's the least probably Star Trek-y maybe of some of these, but like of some of the Star Trek movies, but it's so well done. You get such great character moments between Spock and Kirk and Khan and Kirk, and Spock's sacrifice at the end feels real and meaningful and powerful and moving. And it's the cinematography, the set designs, other things. You got horror elements in here. It gets scary at certain points. It's these battle of wills, is so good. And Ricardo Montalban's so fun as a Khan. And it's just, I think, one of the best sci-fi movies I think I've ever seen. So really, really enjoyed it. So there you go. Last one for this video, number 81, is 500 Days of Summer. This movie is very, very creative, and I really enjoyed it for that. I love like little creative choices that it makes, like, scenes where all of a sudden it becomes a painting or a sketch, and there'll be scenes. I love the scene where you see his expectation and his reality on one side. And that I think about that all the time, because there's so many times when my expectations are sort of affecting my experience going into something. And I love Joseph Gordon-Levitt in the lead role. Chanel is like a Manic Pixie Dream Girl. She's fairly generic, but it works, I think, as this character that he's just like pining for and that he thinks is right for her. But he can't quite get over. I love the girl who plays his sister is really funny. I think it's consistently funny. Very creative. I love the ending. I thought the ending is just like pitch perfect, and really feels true and right for these characters. And it was a bold ending. But it's because she's not that nice of a person when you really break it down, what she does and how she treats people. And so I'm glad that it ends the way it ends. But I don't know, altogether, it just is a lovely movie, and I really like it. So that's my 10 on this video. And so let me know what you think of these movies, and what are some of your favorites. And look forward to next week. We do number 80 to number 71. It's going to be a lot of fun. So thanks so much, and we'll talk to y'all later. Bye.